Hi everybody, my name is Leah and I recently graduated from the University of Florida with a degree in art history, and I'm currently working as a textile conservation intern for the National Park Service in West Virginia with the hope of going to conservation grad school sometime in the next 2 years. In this video, I wanted to kind of introduce myself and then introduce the purpose of this channel. So let's get started. So conservation is a field that melds art with science in order to preserve cultural heritage for future generations. So this could look like a conservator repairing an old book that was like falling apart so that it's stable enough to go and then put on display in a museum. It could even look like taking care of the environment in a museum so that the objects on display don't get super moldy because of humidity. So I learned about the field of conservation when I was in high school, but I really started to pursue it in earnest as a career when I was a junior in college. And so at that point, I started doing a lot of research, asking a lot of questions in order to figure out what steps I needed to take in order to make this kind of dream a reality. And as I was doing research, I encountered a lot of really helpful resources. Resources like the American Institute for Conservation, the Emerging Conservation Professionals Network, the Canadian Conservation Institute, and also a lot of conservators and conservation students who responded really graciously to my cold emails and cold calls. And as I was doing research, I would often get a little overwhelmed at just the amount of information that was out there to kind of point me in the right direction. So even at my really large university, there was only one professor and the diversity of places in which that information could be found. Also, since the field is so small and kind of niche and not a lot of people kind of know what it is, I found it difficult to find local mentors, was familiar with the field, and my academic advisors didn't really know what I was talking about when I said I wanted to be a conservator. So I found myself sometimes heading to YouTube and searching up things like, how do I become an art conservator? Or what does a day in the life of an art conservator look like? Questions like that. And I did get a lot of results, not for conservation, but I found really interesting videos on, a day in the life of an art student, or how to become, a programmer or a data analyst. And those videos I find so interesting because they provide a really accessible entry point to people interested in a certain field. They kind of show what the reality of the day-to-day life looks like, and it's a really frank and open assessment of what it looks like to kind of break into that field. But unfortunately, I didn't find anything like that for conservation. So fast forward 2 years, since junior year of college, I've interned at 2 conservation labs, and I'm currently starting the process of applying to conservation grad school for the first time. And I kind of have found myself heading back to YouTube, asking the same questions just to settle my nerves. And still very few things come up, not exactly what I'm looking for. So one day at work, I kind of said to myself, I'm not a conservator. I don't know a lot of things about the field, but I do know more than I knew starting out. And I also am in a really interesting place in my conservation career trajectory where I have finished undergrad. And I'm not yet in grad school. I'm in this cool liminal space, and I'm at a really awesome internship. So I decided I would like to kind of be a search result to all of those questions that I was asking when I first started out. So here we are. My intention and hope with this channel is that I can provide videos that are accessible and really easy to watch and will hopefully point people interested in this career in the right directions. And if you're not interested in this career, I hope that this is just fun and quirky and you enjoy watching it. So some of the videos that I hope to post will include an overview of the field of conservation, like the history of it and where it is today, the career trajectory of a conservator from before undergrad up through the end of grad school, maybe beyond, an overview of the major conservation degree granting programs like the University of Delaware, Buffalo State, Getty, and NYU, and maybe some others. Also, I want to talk about internships, what kind of websites to look at when trying to find an internship for conservation, who to be networking with, and once you do get an internship, how to make the most of it. And then also I'm gonna visit the University of Delaware's conservation lab sometime in the next couple of weeks So I hopefully am gonna film and post like a vlog style video about my experience there. Also, I haven't decided on a posting schedule yet. I'm not really sure when all of these things will be thrown up on this channel. So if you're interested in following along, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. So yeah, again, I'm not a conservator at all, and I still have so much to learn. So if you are a conservator or an art conservation student, and you hear me say something completely wrong or I'm missing some key pieces of information, please let me know in the comments. It would be very helpful for me as I'm on like this learning curve, and I'm sure it'd be helpful for other people who are watching. So again, I hope this channel serves as a really helpful tool for people looking to go into conservation, and that it's a great like first exposure to the field if you have never heard about it before. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon.